Hello brothers and sisters, welcome to today's episode on Dangerous African Confessions HD. In this episode, we have the continuation of the story from our brother, who became paralyzed as a result of what his wife and pastor took him through in the course of their marriage. He said, I should share with his brothers out there, to be mindful of certain things that happens in their relationships or marriages.
I asked him why he was asking me that question. I realized he didn't want to continue with whatever he came to tell me. But then I told him to be honest with me, since he has become like a brother to me. It was there that he said that my wife has been coming to the place with a certain man in a private car. And sometimes he sees them kissing in the car. I decided to go home and continue my medication. But then the man opted to go with me, so he can see where I live and be checking up on me regularly. You won't believe what I came to meet in the house where we stay in as husband and wife. When we entered the house, we knocked at the door of my living room, only for my pastor to come out of my room wearing only boxer pants, without anything at the top. As soon as he saw me, he went inside, and in about some few minutes, my wife came out having a cloth wrapped on her body. She said she wanted to go and be with the father of her children. When she said this, her father now asked her who the father of the children and what another child is she talking about. My wife now told us that Pastor Enoch, the one we all know and have been to his church before, is the father of her firstborn. And she is even pregnant for him. My uncle stood up angrily and told them that he can't stand and watch their daughter disgrace us the way she is disgracing us. So he asked us to go and we will come for our drinks so we can dissolve the marriage.
He shares with us the difficulties and the things he went through at the hands of his wife, leading to the collapse of his business and everything he had. This is another confession that took us by surprise. I bet you've never heard this before. Let's get into the story and see what really happened during his marriage to his wife. As part of our policy, we don't mention names unless the sender asks us to do so. So, I've edited the names to hide the identity. Without wasting much of your time, let's go and listen to the story.
But then, the man promised me that he was going to do anything possible within his capability to help me get back on my feet. I was praying to God every day to please give me a second chance to be strong again. This was my only prayer from that time on. The man did everything he could, and I think on my 7th month, I could walk without someone guiding me. So, I decided to go home and continue my medication. But then, the man opted to go with me, so he can see where I live and be checking up on me regularly. You won't believe what I came to meet in the house where we stay in as husband and wife. When we entered the house, we knocked at the door of my living room, only for my pastor to come out of my room wearing only boxer pants, without anything at the top. As soon as he saw me, he went inside, and in about some few minutes, my wife came out having a cloth wrapped on her body. As soon as I saw her, it was as if some fire was burning inside of me. I didn't know what happened again. All I remember is that I woke up at the man's place again. I couldn't bear the pains I was going through. This time, it wasn't about my sickness but rather what my wife and my pastor has done to me. I called my uncle on phone to please come to where I was receiving treatment. When he came, I told him everything in the presence of the man. But then, the man told my uncle not to speak a word about it to anyone, for he wanted to check on me for about a week or two to see if I would be a little better. Then he can call for a meeting between my family and my wife's family. The day came and the meeting was called. Everybody that matters were invited. Then I was asked to talk on why I had called for the meeting. I started talking about what my wife has done to me leading to the day for the meeting. How she didn't like me bringing someone to help at the shop, and after everything, the guy runned away with my money. Also, I told them of when I went to the clinic what my wife came there to do with some other man anytime she visited me at the clinic. The elders asked how I was so sure about the incidents I was telling them before the day I met her and the pastor. They wanted to know if it was just guessing or not. That was when I told them that the last time she ever visited me, she came with our son. So, I called the boy and asked if any uncle has been visiting them whilst I am away. It was there that my son told me, a man has been coming to the house and spending days there. Sometimes, he even sleeps in the same room with his mother. So, I told her family to ask their daughter what exactly was my crime to treat me the way she was treating me. When it was her turn to talk, she started by saying that I should correct my statement about our son. She told them the secret about our first son. She angrily said that I shouldn't use the word my son because I know that the child is not my child. My uncle asked me why she is saying that, and I had to explain to him. I told them that, indeed the child is not my child, and since I loved her and she told me that the man responsible for the pregnancy cannot be found, I had to take responsibilities of the child and assume that role. That is why I lied to them that she is pregnant for me. I didn't want to disgrace her. But since she wants everybody to know her secret, then that's the truth. Her father angrily asked her what is the meaning of all that she is doing. She now told them that she doesn't love me anymore. And in fact, she had never loved me. She said, when I met her and she saw that I was offering an escape route, that's why she accepted to be with me. She went further to say that she is aware of what she is doing and would love it if the family calls for a divorce between us. She said she wanted to go and be with the father of her children. When she said this, her father now asked her who the father of the children and what another child is she talking about. My wife now told us that Pastor Enoch, the one we all know and have been to his church before, is the father of her firstborn. And she is even pregnant for him. My uncle stood up angrily and told them that he can't stand and watch their daughter disgrace us the way she is disgracing us. So, he asked us to go and we will come for our drinks so we can dissolve the marriage. Apparently, the house that I asked her to sell, she claims she has used the money for my treatment. I know the money she gave the doctor will be nowhere near the money the house will be sold for. My mistake was that I didn't ask her the amount she got for selling the house. All I cared at that time was for me to be well again. Now, she came to the house and packed all her things and went out of the house. I never cared to ask where she was going, knowing very well that the marriage was over like that. I know very well that that very day she came to pack her things from the house, if I had the strength, like something bad would have happened. Maybe one of us or the two of us would die. In about a month after she left the house, my landlord came with the notice that I had not renewed my rent. And so, he was giving me 3 months to pay or pack out of his house. Something that this woman told me that she has renewed the rent allowance. What pains me now is that I am living with my friend in his house. Because of the situation my wife took me through, my friend knowing how I was earlier offered to allow me to live in his house till I find my feet again. Someone that things were working perfectly for me, now I am practically living off my friend. Even though he is such a nice person, I don't feel comfortable. I feel like I am a burden to him. This is how I lost everything that I had. Because of my wife and our pastor. My wife practically robbed me of my money and property. Please, my brothers and sisters, if you are going into marriage, be careful of who you choose as a wife or husband. Because that person can turn out to be your worst nightmare. Please, I will leave you here. Thank you for taking time to read my story.
Please kindly subscribe, share and like our videos. Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload. Our brothers and sisters do share with us their stories not for sharing's sake, but they are meant for us who still do have chances, not to make these mistakes our brothers and sisters are making. People are really taking their fellow human beings through situations that are beyond human imaginations. How can a wife be this cruel to a man who took you and decided to love beyond measure? It is, or was it a crime for the man to take you and father a child he knew was not his? Now my dear sisters, if you are entering into marriage where you know you don't love the man, there is no point in getting into it, and at the end of the day, take someone through hell. Let us know that, whatever we do unto someone today, same will be done to us when the time comes. So let us learn to respect the human race by treating ourselves equally. And to my fellow men, please don't let this story from our brother deter you from experiencing love. I always say that there are good women out there. So, if you meet someone and it does not go how you expected it to, don't give up. Gather the strength and push forward in life. Someone special will be waiting for you out there. Please let us be wise and vigilant. Thank you and stay safe, till we meet again.